throwing it back to the 1990s and the revolution of PC gaming, making it as we know it today. From the birth of the first-person shooter and the real-time strategy to games legendary, even to this day. This is MediaJunki, and here is our top 10 PC games of the 90s. On September 30th, 1999, Age of Empires 2: The Age of Kings was released, changing the world of real-time strategy forever. Expanding on the RTS advancements made by the original Age of Empires released 2 years prior in 1997. The Age of Kings is set in the Middle Ages and contains 13 playable civilizations. Reception of the Age of Kings was highly positive. In April 2013, Age of Empires 2 HD Edition was released on the Steam digital distribution platform for Windows operating systems. The HD Edition includes both the original game and the expansion, The Conquerors, as well as updated graphics for high-resolution displays. It also supports user-generated content through the Steam Workshop and multiplayer games provided through the Steam servers. Released in 1993 by id Software comes Doom, considered one of the most significant and influential titles in video game history for having pioneered the first-person shooter gaming experience. In Doom, players assume the role of an unnamed space marine, who became popularly known as Doom Guy, fighting his way through hordes of invading demons from hell. The development of Doom started in 1992, when John Carmack developed a new 3D game engine, the Doom engine, while the rest of the id Software team finished the Wolfenstein 3D prequel, Spear of Destiny. When the game design phase began in late 1992, the main thematic influences were the science fiction action film Aliens and the horror film Evil Dead 2. Originally going to be a licensed game for the movie Aliens, the idea was later scrapped to allow for creative freedom. Doom's original release was December 10th, 1993 for MS-DOS and Mac OS. Road and Track presents the Need for Speed, later released in Japan as Road and Track presents Overdriven, is a 1994 racing game better known as Need for Speed. First released on the 3DO and then ported over to DOS, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn. For its time, the game was praised for its realistic graphics and sounds, addictive gameplay, and exceptionally clever use of full motion video. The game featured both closed circuits and 3 point-to-point tracks, each divided into 3 stages. For the latter, traffic vehicles appear in races. Police pursuits are also a key gameplay mechanic, in which the player could be ticketed or arrested after a police car succeeded in catching up with the player. Later spawning 22 sequels and a feature film, Need for Speed is the most successful racing video game series in the world, and one of the most successful video game franchises of all time. Over 150 million copies of games in the series have been sold to date. A game originally to be called Race and Chase, eventually retitled to Grand Theft Auto, was released in October 1997. Grand Theft Auto was developed for MS-DOS, but then later ported to Microsoft Windows. It has sold more than 150 million units as of September 2013. Grand Theft Auto takes place in 1997 in 3 primary settings, all of which are modeled on real locales. Liberty City is based on New York City, Vice City is based on Miami, and San Andreas is based on the regions of California and Nevada. All 3 suffer from rampant crime and corruption, with constant feuding between the local crime syndicates, random acts of violence from street gangs, organized thievery and murder, and corrupt city officials and police officers. The original concept of Grand Theft Auto was to produce a fun, addictive, and fast multiplayer car racing and crashing game which uses a novel graphics method. Released in 1998, Half-Life became arguably one of the most influential video games of all time, changing the way stories in video games are told. By 2008, 9.3 million copies had been sold, and the game has won over 50 Game of the Year awards. The public reception was overwhelmingly positive in terms of reviews, acclaim, and sales. Players assumed the role of Dr. Gordon Freeman, who must fight his way out of a secret research facility after a teleportation experiment goes disastrously wrong. According to designer Harry Tesley, id Software's 1993 first-person shooter Doom was a major influence, and the team wanted Half-Life to scare you like Doom did. Half-Life also spawned 3 expansion packs: Half-Life Opposing Force, Half-Life Blue Shift, and Half-Life Decay. Half-Life is not only arguably the best 90s game, but the best PC game of all time.